y'all. Welcome. Ouch. Hey, y'all. Toy with the T here. Welcome to my live, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm setting up a couple of devices, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me, and I'm going live on YouTube. All right. So y'all know I'm about to do another show. Thank y'all for joining me. The reason why I'm going live is because I want to encourage y'all to start your own YouTube channel, start your own page, start your own something. You don't even have to be seen, but since I'm taking the steps, I want y'all to take the steps with me, y'all. Toy with the T in the building. Thank you for joining me. YouTube up there in the building. Thank y'all for joining me. So tonight's episode, I am actually recording on my laptop. So you want to start your podcast, all right? So for people who want to start a podcast, I'm gonna go ahead and record, and then I'm gonna edit later this video that I'm gonna do, and you guys can join me. I'm waiting for one more device to load up over here on my iPad, and then I'm gonna start to record. If you guys wanna take notes, any information, any questions you guys got before I go live. I did a quick little short video on a couple of things that you want to grab if you want to start your own podcast. And this is the equipment. It's basically a clip of the equipment that I have that I'm using to start my podcast. All right. So I am just trying to, hey y'all, thank y'all for joining me live on YouTube. I'm walking us through starting our own show. Toy with the T here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you so much. You can be spending your time someplace else, but you're spending your time here with me. Thank you so much. Because God got us on a mission, and it's meant for us to do some great things, y'all. I'm doing everything step by step because I just feel it in my bones that some of us are about to embark on something great. And in that something great, it's going to involve being on the social media. So go ahead and walk with me. Follow me on all social media, y'all. Toya with the T. That's TOYAWITDATEA on all social media. And if you guys follow me right now, I'm about to record. So you want to start your own podcast. All right. And again, I'm helping you guys for free because I'm not an expert. I just believe that God wants me to do big things, and I believe that I can do it. So if y'all want the help, whatever information I have, I'm going to give it to you for free. We can do this together. And then once we start making some money and we know what we talk about, then we can start charging people, okay? But until then, because I'm winging it, I'm going to be willing to give y'all the information that I know. We share the information together, right? And we see where it goes. But if y'all need help, I'm going to record my first video tonight. I'm waiting on my other device because I'm trying to go live on my other TikTok page. And for some reason, I'm having technical difficulties. So if y'all have any questions right now, feel free. Hello, you guys. Thank you for joining me. I am well. Thank y'all for joining me live on TikTok, Toy with the T, live on YouTube at Toy with the T. And again, I'm about to do my video on So You Want to Start Your Podcast. I'm going to walk you through the steps so you have time to grab a pen and paper. All right? You got time to grab a pen and paper if you want to learn how to start your own podcast, 2025 version. It's so much easier than what it was when we first started out. I started out in 2019, 2020, just before the C word. And we had to do other things. All right. So, all right, here's my device. Let me go ahead and set this up, and we're going to go ahead and get started in a couple of minutes. Thank y'all for joining me, y'all. So you want to... All right, y'all got an opportunity to grab your pen and paper. Grab your pen and paper if you want to take notes. And I'm giving you this information for free. I've been doing it. Now, am I where I want to be? No, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm definitely hoping to get there. But this time, I'm going to practice on being consistent, right? Because we can't just think that, oh yeah, we're just going to start a podcast and then all of a sudden, just, overnight, everyone's going to love us, right? Is it possible? Anything is possible. But typically, it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? We got to put in our wax on, wax off, right? And this is the wax on, wax off moment. So for those of y'all joining me, if we grow, if I grow, then you guys know you were here first. And because I feel in my bones that we are destined and anyone that joins me is destined, go ahead, grab your pens and papers. Let's take this journey together. And next year, this time, we're going to be telling people I told you so. Okay? So, thank you for joining me. Toy with the T here. I am getting my equipment together. Let me go ahead and turn my light up. All right. If y'all have any questions, let me go ahead and answer your questions right now. I'm turning my light up. And we're going to go ahead and get ready to get busy, y'all. All right? So let me go ahead. I got this one more device because I need to record it. That's what I'm doing now. And keep in mind, you guys, this is my 40th day doing this challenge. I'm doing a 90-day social media challenge. And because I've seen so many people become successful on YouTube, I am educating myself. I'm taking the steps. I'm watching videos. I'm doing the research. I'm doing the work. I'm taking the time to be consistent because I want to see where this goes. And I mean, you never know. So if it's real, we're about to see. I want y'all to go ahead and embark on this journey with me. I'm Toy with the T. Thank y'all for joining me. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm start recording because for those of you guys who would like to start your own podcast, I'm about to show you how. All right. So now keep in mind, the music that I have in the background, it's a royalty-free music, okay? If you want to start your own show or if you want to start your podcast, keep in mind you don't want to get in trouble with the copyright issues. So you need to make sure that you have what? Royalty-free music, all right? I'm going to move this off the back of my chair. I'm going to close my door so I can get that studio effect, and we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? Now, in this next session of me learning and growing and building my channel, I am actually taking this second set of 30 days to learn the specifics, to learn the ins and outs. So this is the set of 30 days that I've chosen to learn how to perfect my thumbnails, perfect my titles, learn how to do editing, and actually focus on making original content just to see where it goes. I have no high hopes. I have no high expectations. But because I'm not really scared of anything, I'm not scared to look like a fool. I'm not scared to be disliked. I'm not even scared for people to look at my content and not like it. I at least have to try to see where it goes, because if I'm really going to show that I'm fearless, I might as well put my best foot forward in things that are positive. And just as negative as I was in the world, being fearless is the same way I need to exert that energy in a positive way. All right. So I'm actually taking this next set of 30 days to do original content. So I'm coming up with things off of my head, clipping it up, learning how to edit, which is very tedious, but I do not have the funds to pay anybody, so I'm doing it myself. And with that, I'm using the ThinkPad Pro. All right. So because now all of my equipment is up and I am recording, let me go ahead and get this show started. I have royalty-free music playing. I'm going to go ahead and get this started. We're going to do a countdown and a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay? I need to cut my mic on because we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. And I have multiple mics. All right. So let's get ready to get it popping. And I'm my own producer, so that's kind of hard too. That's it. Taking All right, so typically, from what I'm learning, it's a rule of thumb that you need at least 2 minutes, you guys. 2 minutes of saying nothing, complete silence at the beginning of your program and at the end of your program. Okay, now these are tips that I'm learning from professionals. All right, so I just recorded what I was talking because I'm trying to capture every moment because you just never know what moment is going to be that viral moment. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start recording again, except for what I'm going to do this time. We're going to go for 2 minutes of silence at the beginning of the program, and then we're going to do 2 minutes of silence at the end of the program. And that is probably going to help when it comes to editing and adding all this other stuff in there and stuff like that. Okay, and we're going to start over again, and we'll just add that other clip in if need be later. Okay, so let's try that again. We're going to start from the top with a 2-minute moment of silence with the music playing for the intro, and then we're going to go into the video. All right, and it's the same way if you want to start the podcast. Keep in mind, because it's 2024, you don't only have to do a podcast with just audio. You can go ahead, break your camera out. It can even be a cell phone. The things that I'm going to talk about that you need today, you don't even need these things. You can just simply just use your cell phone. All right? You simply just need a cell phone and a laptop to start. All right? And we can add pieces on as we go. The important part is starting now. Why? Because especially if you're black in America, you never had everything you needed. You never had all of the right utensils. You never had enough money. There may always be something to keep you from starting. And if there's something keeping you from starting, then it's keeping you from your destiny. And we're not doing that no more. So I'm talking too much because I should have gotten that on record. Let's go ahead and get these 2 minutes of silence. Hey, you guys, thank you for joining me. Toy with the T in the building. And I'm back yet with another video for you guys today. And I'm definitely going to be putting this on the podcast. My name is Toy with the T. Thank you for joining me. And if I could get you to like, share, and subscribe, all right? I'm going to take you guys today on how to start your own podcast, all right? So you want to start a podcast, huh? So you want to be a social media influencer, huh? Well, I've got a couple of tips and ideas and some products that can help get you there. All right. So go ahead and leave your comments. And if there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. Like I said, I'm not charging anyone for my help because I'm just getting started. I just really want to take the steps in doing my research to see exactly what I got. And if I get somewhere, then I'm going to be taking people with me. So if you need any help starting your podcast or you need any help starting your show, which we're going to talk about all of this today, feel free to reach out in the emails, reach out, leave your comments, and I'm here to help. All right? All right, you guys. So if you go ahead and check out my YouTube page on Toy with the T, TOYAWITDATEA, you'll see that I've listed a couple of items that is going to help you start your podcast, okay? Now, when it comes to starting a podcast, it's a couple of things we want to think about. And I think the last thing that we should think about in starting this podcast is the equipment, okay? Because in 2024, we don't exactly need the perfect equipment anymore, all right? We just basically need that idea. We need that eye-catching language, and we need to actually just do it because we're watching anything, all right? So if you want to start your podcast, you might want to go ahead, grab your pens and papers. I'm going to talk you through the steps. I'm going to tell you about a couple of items you can grab. Then we're going to talk about niches. Then we're going to talk about how to get that actual podcast out there, all right? So thank you for joining me again. I know you guys have the choice to be anywhere and watching anyone, but you're here with me. I appreciate that so much, and trust me, when I get big, I'm going to make sure I repay you all. So go ahead, grab your pen and paper, and let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to start this podcast. All right, you guys, Toya with the T is here. And first and foremost, I think you will want to think of what you're going to talk about on this podcast. All right. So now you have tons of ideas, and if you were like me in the beginning, like the enemy plays tricks on you. And even though I know that all of you are so smart and you know exactly what to do, the enemy is going to play a game on your mind and make you think like, oh, I can't come up with anything. But of course you can, because you watch things every day. And there are things that interest you, and when they interest you, 9 times out of 10, they interest other people. The only thing you have to figure out is what it is that you want to talk about that's going to interest you, and that 9 times out of 10 is going to interest other people, okay? Once you find out that topic you're going to talk about, we're going to call that topic a niche, and we're going to use a couple of examples. For instance, true crime is a great niche right now, and when some people put a spin on it, you can do tea and crime, or coffee and crime, or sipping crime, or makeup and crime. You understand what I'm saying? And these are simple stories where people discuss different scenarios and stories of crime situations. All right, that's a great niche. All right, you can also talk about cooking. You can talk about relationships. You can talk about success. You can talk about whatever it is that you know. So educational tutorials, that's another great niche, okay? Maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a nurse, maybe you're a veterinarian. You know, whatever you're into, let's talk about what you actually do as a first point of contact for your podcast if you don't have anything else, if you can't think of a niche. Whatever it is you do on a daily basis, whatever your occupation is on a daily basis, make that your niche. Once you make that your niche, step 2 should be make your name. What are we going to call you? Again, when you're a beginner, don't worry about and don't even try to think about or set an expectation on, oh, I'm going to be overnight success. Oh, I'm going to be this. See, so you never know. All right. But either way it go, whenever you plant a seed, in order for that seed to grow, it takes time. All right. So 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 20 years if you're an oak tree. You have to get the seed in the ground, and the faster you get the seed in the ground, the faster the crop grows, and the faster you can reap your harvest. Okay? So if we're going to go ahead and start our podcast, we need to go ahead and start it today. We need to definitely have a name. We need to definitely have a niche or a topic on what we're going to talk about. And then we're going to proceed into going into what do I have, okay? I have my niche. I know what I want to talk about. I got my name. I've been pondering on this for years because I've been wanting to talk about this title. Now what's next? Thank you, my love. So what's next after this niche is how do I get my message out? What do I do? What do I do to get my podcast out? Okay. Now we're going to take 2 angles with this podcast thing. Okay. We're going to take the I don't have the money kind of way. We're not going to say broke. We're going to say I don't have the money kind of way, but I have the resources. Okay. As long as you have the resources, the money will come. If you have a cell phone, and if you have a laptop or an iPad, we can start there, okay? Now, there's a couple of things you need to do because we're just getting started. We don't want to spend unnecessary money at the moment, all right? We're not making any money. We're not going to put a lot of money out there, but we have our name. We have our niche. Now we're going to look for that avenue to get our podcast out there. And because we live in a society to where now we can do visual podcasts, I highly suggest you visually record your podcast for other reasons. Do not limit yourself to just one avenue of getting your podcast out there. If you're scared to go visual, then get you a nice visual thumbnail that can go over that recorded content. That's visual, of course, because we are going to take this content and we are not only going to put it on a podcast channel and distribute it through things that we only can hear these podcasts. We are going to also distribute this to our YouTube and our TikTok and our Facebook and our Instagram pages. Because if we are going to make other people rich, we're going to get rich. If we're going to make other people rich, we're going to make ourselves rich if it's possible at the same time. For instance, if I know watching TikTok pays them, and all I have to do is post content to pay me, then I'm going to post content on TikTok and watch my content and get all my friends and family and whoever work with. I mean, friends and family don't have to watch. If people watch this content, it's going to pay you too. All right? And it's just an ever-ending cycle of financial freedom. That's the goal. So once we decide that we have our niche or our niche or our topic and we have our name, we are going to visually record our podcast as well as record it to a specific podcasting distributing site. For instance, for me, it was Anchor. Anchor is no longer around. We now have Riverside.fm and a couple of other apps, should I call them, that will help you distribute your podcast. Now, I know a lot of us are going to say, I am not computer literate, I'm not computer savvy, I am not a lot of things, and I'm here to tell you that if you say what you are not and you don't find a way to get it done, you're not serious about your destiny. I can't take no more nots. If I continue to say what I am not, and I never have the money to get the person to edit what I feel like I have stuck inside, I am going to die with these dreams, and I'm not going to do that. So I know I don't know how to edit, but let me tell you what I'm doing today. I'm learning how. And it's not perfect, but I'm learning how. Ain't no more what I'm not. Ain't no more what I can't do's. Ain't no more making up excuses of getting out the talent that I have inside. You understand what I'm saying? Without taking that opportunity to see if it can go to the next level. I'm just not, no more excuses. No more excuses, right? I'm getting it. I'm putting it out there. I'm not worrying about professional lighting, professional this, professional that. That's not what we're worried about. We're worried about getting it out there. We're worried about learning to become consistent. We're learning about gaining the experience, because the more we do it, the more comfortable we get with it, the more we learn. Okay? Thank you, my love. So we want to get this done. So we need our niche. We need our name. And we're going to start looking up podcasting platforms. So there's like Podbean, Patreon, okay? Because depending on what it is that you want to speak of, you can get blocked. All right? And we're going to talk about that later. You still working on your niche too? Me too, my love. So, you know what I'm doing? I'm doing news. Okay? Because news allows me to touch a multitude of different areas until I figure it out, okay? Because the reason why I can't zone in on it is because I'm not familiar with it. Because you're good at whatever it is you do, right? And whatever it is you do, when you know there's an issue, you can zone in on it. But what you do, you know it well, okay? So that's why we're taking these steps and doing it anyway. Even if I don't have a niche, I'm not waiting on no niche. I'm just getting out here saying stuff, talking. You understand me? Because I am not going to be deceived, and I cannot waste another day. I cannot hit the grave with these dreams in me and not at least getting them out. They don't have to succeed. It's okay. I'm cool with failure. But what I'm not cool with is dying with them in me, man. So let me go ahead and get it out. So the only thing I can think of is teach y'all what I know. Okay? So your niche, whatever it is, whatever you do. So if you don't know what your niche is, just understand. You can talk about finances. You can talk about relationships. You can talk about meditation. You can talk about gaining weight. You can talk about losing weight. You can talk about cooking. You can talk about kids. There's a few niches. And if you are really stuck and you don't have a good idea or you're not really sure, go look online to get some ideas on what is the #1 podcast. What is the most liked, most viewed, most seen, most listened to podcast? Get some ideas. Top 10. Get some ideas, okay? Once we got our niche and our name, we're looking for a distributor. You got Podbean. You know, typically, like I said, for me, it was Anchor. YouTube now does podcasts. Podbean, Patreon. There are several sites, and again, I will always suggest that you do video as well as audio. And if you don't want to do video, you can always do faceless by adding a picture or a thumbnail, we'll talk about that in a second, in the place of that actual video. But whatever is more comfortable with you, and again, I'm giving this information out for free because the biggest thing for me is I hate when people ask me for money, and the reason why I'm trying to figure out how to do it is because I need money. And then here you come asking me for money. Okay? No, I got faith. God has been nudging me, and I have the knowledge. I just got to put it together, and I just feel like in my heart it's going to work. And I'm just going to teach y'all what I know. That's all I can say. All right? We got our niche. We got our name. We're going to look at how we're going to distribute this. Podbean, Patreon, whomever, please, 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 please sign up for a YouTube, okay? Because if you sign up for YouTube, YouTube will allow you to distribute your podcast. And this is the next step because, see, I had Anchor. Anchor was then dissolved, broke up, went to Spotify, and it kind of just went all over the place. Okay, so now I have to reconnect all of my different distribution channels for my podcast, which is going to be a little bit of a headache, right? Because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm learning. So I'm reading, I'm taking the time, I'm getting frustrated, and I'm not acting out. I have to reconnect all of those different feeds back to one. Those connect to YouTube, and now you can distribute across all media platforms that play podcasts. And when you upload those to things such as, you used to have Anchor too? Yeah, girl. We'll talk about that on the next one. But you can now distribute across your chosen platform and YouTube and everything else. All right. So now keep in mind, what I think is the most important is you need to have a breakdown of your show. Okay. All right. And I'm going to take it from the top again because you want to start your own podcast. And before we go to the breakdown of a show, let me just go ahead and suggest this. Okay. I feel like this. I know that we don't have a lot of money. And I again, what I tell myself with that is being black in America, we ain't never had enough money. It ain't never been the right time. It always been something. It's always been a setback and always been a hiccup. If I ain't had this, we ain't had this, we ain't have that. If we had this and we had that, then somebody was coming to stop. So I'm not going to use those excuses anymore. Okay? I'm unemployed. I don't have a lot of money. Or I'm employed. I'm underemployed. I don't have a lot of money, but I still feel like this can go someplace. And I have to do it because without doing it, it's never going to be able to catch fire. Okay? You got clothes in your closet? Give yourself a little photo shoot. Okay? Grab your camera on your phone. And if you, again, now keep in mind, we're going to talk about the items that we need in the second part too, because right now we're just operating with a phone and an iPad. And I'm going to talk about the items that I put in my YouTube that we use. And you're going to give yourself a little, photo shoot. You're going to get a couple of outfits, right? You're going to grab your camera. You're going to cut the lights on because that's where the lighting is going to be good. There's some place in your house where they have good lighting. Typically, it's the living room if you have something overhead. But wherever that is in your house that has the best lighting, that's where you're going to go. You're going to do your little photo shoot, okay? And we're going to use two tools. We're going to use them on a trial basis. So listen, we got 30 days to make this happen, and we don't want to spend no money. But in order for... how can you expect someone else to spend money on you if you don't want to spend money on you? Okay. But we're still going to take this first 30 days. And we're going to dedicate it because a lot of these things have free trials. And we're going to take some pictures. We're going to glam up the best that we can with what we have. Because God only needs what you got, baby. And He going to blow on it or multiply from there, honey. You just need to take what you got, be grateful with it, honey, and ask Him to multiply it, honey, and make it, the Cinderella story, honey, where she just had some mice and some old clothes and some shoes, and then when the fairy godmother got done, she looked like this whole glamorous princess, honey. But at 12 o'clock, when the bell goes ding, it's going to all get away. So don't you get caught up in there after 12 o'clock, baby, because you're going to go back to rags. God can do what He want to do. Okay? So you got your niche. You got your name. You have picked out your platform. Listen, let me throw this out for your platform too. Okay? Use Restream and those little platforms that does video and does audio as well. And like I said, this next part we're talking about, this thumbnail that we're going to get the background because we don't want to be visible. This is what we call faceless. We don't want to be visible just yet. So we're going to get this background. We're going to take our pictures anyway. Even if we're going to be faceless, we're going to take our pictures because, if you want it, you got to understand people have to know you. But in order to make yourself feel Yeah. Do your little photo shoot. Cut your little hair, brush your little hair. You know what I'm saying? Get your little stuff together. Do your little photo shoot. Take you a couple of little pictures. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the marketing tools, which is Canva. Yes, ma'am. Because now we need marketing tools. Now we need the thumbnails to capture people that's going to have the title that's going to capture people. And then we need, because we don't want to be seen on screen, we're going to need that background to be shown all of the time, right? Because we don't want to be seen. But if you are going to go out of the way and take pictures, I suggest you take pictures so you can be in there. You're going to come up with your thumbnail. You're going to go to Canva. Canva has a 30-day free trial. Okay? So you're going to take this 30-day free trial. You're going to commit to 30 days, 30 minutes a day. Please. 5 days a week. Please. If you get up and you go work for somebody else that's their dream you're working for, and they went through the trenches to get there to employ you, you can commit to 30. If you work 8 hours for them, you can commit to 30 minutes to yourself every day to make this happen for you. And we're going to do it for virtually as less money as possible using these free trials and things of that nature. And most of these distributing apps for the podcast, and even, you know, for the visual side of distributing your media, they typically have anywhere from 14 to 30 days. Now, again, I say at least commit to yourself, because we commit to everybody else's dream with everything else we buy. Commit to yourself $50 for your first 30 days, okay? And that's just in the event that your free trials are 14 days, okay? And for the first month, we're going to commit to 30 days, 5 days a week. We're going to commit to 30 minutes and even get the family involved. If you got kids and they can't sit still, get them involved too, honey, because my nephews, they like going live now. And if they don't do right in school, ain't no going no live. Okay? So get the kids involved. If you feel like, oh, I don't have time for the kids, get that 30 minutes, get the kids involved, and commit to 30 minutes a day investing into this opportunity that you want to embark on yourself. Even that can be a niche. You and your kids just fooling around. You'd be surprised how much money you can make. We're going to use that as our content. We're going to commit to that 30 days. Like I said, you're going to go to Canva. Canva has a 30-day trial. You're going to take these pictures and take a couple of them because you got a 30-day trial. Think about what topics. Take your paper down. That's going to be next. When you write your paper, write your topics down. But you're going to go to Canva. You're going to pick out your background. You're going to pick out whatever picture that you're going to have there. If you're not going to have your own face, you're going to pick out whatever thumbnail you feel like suits you. You're going to add your picture on there. And again, I'm going to do a class on Canva. And if y'all join me, I'm going to walk y'all through Canva live. Okay, so y'all can do that on the Canva page. You can create your thumbnails, and then you're gonna go into creating your show. When you create your show, you know you gotta have an intro. If you're gonna do it visually, even if you're gonna have a background, you know you gotta welcome people to your show. You know you gotta tell them to like, share, subscribe. You know you gotta tell them to comment. You know you're gonna have to engage. You're going to have to tell them where to follow you at. That is called dropping your tags. These are key things that we look at every day on social media, and we need to do the same thing that we're watching every day. Right. You're dropping your tag, you're telling them where to find you, you're giving them an intro, and then you're going into your show. You're giving your thanks, of course. I say start off with a prayer. I say, after thanking the Most High, thank your fans, thank you guys for joining me, because you can be anywhere. And then you're going to go into your show topics. And that's up to you. And 3 minutes is a long time. You're going to go into your show topics because, again, we're only going to start off for 30 minutes for the first 30 days. All right? So you're going to go into your show topics. You're going to go ahead and wrap that up. You're going to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. You're going to throw in whatever you want to talk about, add in whatever you want to talk about. Okay, now keep in mind, you're going to record for more than 30 minutes because you have to edit this. All right? So my suggestion is take all your 30 minutes every day, put it all together, and then you can edit it in one 30 minute. You understand what I'm saying? That way you don't get overwhelmed, but you have your project. You have to edit it. Well, you don't have to edit it, but if you're just doing the podcast, it's just vocally. And if you write down the stature of your show, it's totally okay. And if you follow that script, then your project should be virtually edit free. You know what I mean? Because you should have limited opportunities where you said the wrong thing. I mean, it's okay because what I'm learning again and doing social media, thank you so much. People want to see you mess up, and it's okay. It shows authenticity. You know what I mean? But having it written down instead of winging it is definitely going to limit the opportunity that you have to edit. But all of these distributing sites, they will allow you an opportunity to be able to edit however you like, even on YouTube, right? In worst case scenario, if on your phone you have a voice recording app, then that's what you're going to use to record just the visual voice of your podcast. Now, adding all these different devices is going to probably throw off the volume, okay? So I still go back to just using one device. If it's going to be your phone, let it be your phone. If it's going to be your iPad, let it be your iPad. Use that for volume. Commit to the 30 minutes. And when you come up with your masterpiece, then you will go from there. Okay? So your first 30 days should be dedicated to coming up with your niche, coming up with your name, getting you a Canva account, coming up with your thumbnails, creating your distribution account, whether it's Podbean, whether it's, DistroKid. Hold on one second, you guys. All right, so whether you're going to use Podbean or DistroKid, whoever your distributor is, right? You're going to have Canva for your little thumbnails because you want something visually attractive to attract people when they see your podcast. That's a marketing method, a marketing material. And if you're not going to have your face seen, you're going to need to draw that up too. You need your background because you're not going to have your face seen in this specific podcast or in this specific visual podcast, right? Now, once you put all that together and you start to edit this is where it gets tedious because now, guess what? Once you've done your work, now you have to watch your own work. And this is where you got to be honest with yourself. When you watch and listen or listen to your work and look at what you've created, how do you feel about it? Now, don't be like me and get beside yourself and feel like, I made it. It's good enough for me. You have to think about, is it good enough for everyone else to watch? Okay. And we got to be honest with ourselves if we wanted to go someplace. And if it is indeed good enough for everyone else to watch, that means when they watch it, they'll like it, and it will show for itself. But in the event you should happen to find yourself putting together these creations, and you do put it out there, and it does not move as fast as you want it to move, then that's probably also a good indicator that it's not as good as we think it is. It's just good to us because it's our baby, it's our creation, and no one ever wants to feel like their work and their creativity is not good enough. But the fact of the matter is you're not going to win everyone. You're not going to win all of them. Some of them you're going to lose some. But the only way to learn how to win them all is how to lose a majority of them. And then once you learn it, you know how to better attack and achieve the results that you want. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this video is just to let you guys know that you can do this. And getting to the level that you want to get to means you have to first start. And even if you don't make it to the level that you expect, because you're only going to make it as far as you think you can make it, right? If you don't think that you can make it that far, then it's probably going to limit your growth or how far you can go. But if you don't start, you don't know how far you can go. So I'm doing this as an encourager to go ahead and start your podcast. And I'm about to get ready to wrap this up, so that way you can go ahead and get started on your podcast. Okay. Now, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that I am working on a series of, I guess, content clips to talk you through the things that I already know about, right? Like, I've started a podcast, how to do that, how to start a YouTube channel, how to create a certain meal. Like, I'm working on things that I know how to do as content, and I'm going from there. Okay, and I'm doing a lot of research, and that's all I'm asking you to do the first 30 days. Just get started. Just know that you can do it, and just do it on the side, 30 minutes a day, just to see where to go. Keep it consistent. Let's do it for 90 days and see where we get. My first 30 days, I'm not mad. I'm not growing as much as I wanted it to grow, but I grew more than I anticipated. And because of that, I feel like with consistency, the same way I grew and I got promoted in my job is the same way I'm going to grow in this new entrepreneurial industry. I just got to keep at it. So this is Toy with the T, here to show you, teach you, encourage you, influence you. Go ahead and start your own podcast. There's nothing stopping you except you. Keep in mind, there's a lot of haters out there that's waiting to tell you you can't achieve it. Waiting to tell you that you can't do it. Don't join them. Don't be against yourself. Okay? So, go ahead, check me out on YouTube. Check me out on all social media. I'm definitely informing you guys on the tips and tools that you need to start your podcast. I believe you can do it. If you need help, go ahead and reach out to me. Let me know. Email me. Leave your comments, because they love it when you engage. All right? And most of all, follow me at Toya with the T, at ToyaWytdaTea on all social media and YouTube. Okay? So now the only reason I can bring this to you guys is because I am taking these steps right now, just like you. And I want you to join me. This is my second 30-day, what can I say? Second set of 30 days in my 90-day social media challenge to myself. And my first 30 days, I took the time to kind of get to know what I'm doing. My second set of 30 days, I'm a little comfortable and I'm ready for the next step, which is, editing and coming up with my own content. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do my last 30 days, but I do know that it's going to be holiday season. So I do know that I am going to try to capture as much love and motivation as possible, because I do know that I want my channel to be the influence of love and positivity. So my last 30 days will probably contribute to Thanksgiving and the truth of what it is and what we should make it be, as well as Christmas, what it really is and what we should make it be. And of course, ending that off with a end of the year celebration as we usher in 2025, which is, a lot of us just don't see the doors that are open for you. But trust me, God is about to blow your mind in 2025. A lot of us are going to get paid back for some of the things that we've lost in previous years. And in January, I should have a full schedule and a full calendar of the things that I'm going to do, no matter what. No matter how many people show, no matter what connections I may or may not make, no matter what resources I have at the moment, I'm going to commit to a calendar. I'm going to commit to events this year. I'm going to commit to recording them, and I'm going to commit to investing in me as much as I have for every other job that I've ever worked. And I encourage you to do the same. because we make the world go round. We built the city. We propel this country, and we are the people that make this world go round. And only thing we have to do is believe in ourselves as much as we believe in others, and we too can achieve our dreams. But if you happen to ever forget who you are and you need some motivation and some encouragement, make sure you holler at me, okay? Toy with the T, because I know you can do this. All right? So holla at your girl, Toy with the T. That's TOYAWITDATEA on all social media. Like I said, I am editing this video for my podcast as well as my content on my YouTube channel. Please make sure you go check the channel out and let me know how I did. Right? I'm self-teaching. I'm going over YouTube. I'm just researching information on how to make this happen. I'm looking at different examples, seeing what I want to come up with, and I'm going to see how far it takes me. And I just want you guys to join me, man. So let's make this happen, man. I got faith in you, and I know you can do it. And if nobody told you, I'm proud of you and everything you've done so far. But until then, this is Toy with the T signing off. Please know I love you guys so much. Make sure you follow me, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube at Toy with the T. That's TOYAWITDATEA on all social media. And please, 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 good, bad, or indifferent, make sure you leave your comments, because if you don't let me know how the content is, how am I going to grow? I got thick skin, and I promise I won't curse you out, okay? All right, you guys. I love you bunches. Remember, when you do your podcast, if you're going to add in music, you got to do royalty-free music. And we can talk about that on another episode. So if you guys want more, please comment part 2. And I'll teach you everything that I know when it comes to creating your podcast, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. This is my YouTube royalty-free music that I have in the background, which should keep me from the copyrights. And this is what I'm going to use to lead me out of my show. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you all so much. Like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think about the video. Until next time, signing off, it's Toy with the T. And don't let nobody talk shit about you, okay? There's enough people out there that's going to wake up against you. Don't you ever wake up against yourself. And trust me, there's nothing in the way between you and your success except for space and opportunity, honey. Don't be your worst enemy. Go ahead and let's make this happen, man. I love you guys, bunches. Have a good day. Bye. Oh, yeah, and remember, 2 minutes of silence before and 2 minutes of silence after your program for editing purposes. Thank you, guys. Bye. right, you guys. So now I am not going to stop my recording just yet, but I am going to leave that brief little space in there so that way if I do need to make any adjustments and use the rest of this footage into, I don't know, maybe some kind of clip, maybe something motivational, who knows. All I know is I'm making sure that I'm very adamant about getting things on camera or on record. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me. Thank you. Please leave your feedback about how you think I did on the video. I am going to work on editing this video over tomorrow morning. And again, just try it, guys. Just try it. That's the least we can do. If you guys got any questions, comments, or concerns about how you can start a podcast, how you can start your own YouTube channel or grow on social media, feel free to ask me any questions. I will let you know what I know. If you guys want to go ahead and run over to my YouTube page and check it out and see what you think about it, I'm still working on it. And again, it's organic, right? I'm still trying to get this down. I do kind of get the concept, but however, I'm still experiencing a couple of struggles. You understand what I'm saying? But this is where you all come in at, and long as we do this together, we can come up with a strategy to take us to the next level. And I really believe that. Okay, so go ahead, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, follow my content. Make sure y'all let me know what y'all got going on and what help y'all need. Because I am here to give you everything that I possibly have in my head that could potentially help you get to the next level. Okay? That's what I want. I want to do everything I can do to get you to the next level, even if you pass me. I don't care about that. I just feel like we are not going to leave here with dreams trapped in us. Okay? We're going to get them out of here. Alright, so thank you for joining me. Let's see what trophies I got. So, any questions on starting your own podcast before I go into what's next? New record for subscribers. October 2024 is your best year. I gained 1,008 subscribers. I'm going to share that. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead. What is this? And talk about starting our own channel. Okay? And more views, less time. And I already have that, so what's the problem? So like, Lee, why are you even asking me about that? So when it comes to starting your own channel, now I'll get it ready. It's basically going to be the same way we started off our podcast, okay? And again, I am only encouraging you to start your channel because you're basically using the same energy starting a podcast and starting your channel. You understand what I'm saying? So why not be able to adopt 2 streams of revenue if possible? Okay? So these are my thoughts. I thought I could just sign in. Actually, 50. All right. If you were to start your own podcast and you visually took this podcast and it was something that people liked and people caught on, you could potentially open up the door to not working 9 to 5 anymore. Okay? Now open up other streams of revenue for you because you have now influenced your entrepreneurial abilities to open up financial freedom, and people are going to want to know how you did it. Okay? And that's what we're aiming for. There's something that you're good at. there's something that you like to do that you can put on record. You can record, you can download, you can edit, you can invest in and put it out there so that way people can take advantage of it. And you can see where it goes, okay? Now, I'm only going to stay on here for 10 more minutes because I'm going to go and try to get some editing done. Then I also have to do my other 2 pieces of content on, it's going to be cooking content. I'm also still learning how to add that background in the back. And then I'm going to teach you guys how to set a budget on shopping for food at $200 a month, okay? So I'm going to go work on that. But in the meantime, between time, I'm just going to tell you guys what else you need to start your channel, okay? Now, you've already saw the podcast, and if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see all of the equipment that I use to do my podcasting equipment in the house. I've also talked to you about Canva when it comes to putting your background up for visual purposes and setting up your thumbnails, okay? And now, sorry you guys, I missed some people trying to join me. And if you watch the video, we asked on how you start your own podcast. All right. So we're going to wrap this up here in a moment. Because like I said, I'm going to go edit this. But of course, I want your feedback, you guys. Toy with the T in the building. Thank you for joining me. If you need any help at all, building your channel, building your page, let me know. Once you get your channel built, I'm going to tell you about some plugins that you can use. It's going to help propel you to the next level that I'm quite sure that a lot of people are utilizing when it comes to getting views and impressions and other things of that nature. But that's the secret that we're not going to want to tell. Okay? But just join me, y'all. Alright? Make sure you follow me. Go on my TikTok. Like I said, this 30 days I'm working on creating fresh, original content. Let me know how you like it. I need to still working on it. I'm going on YouTube. I'm doing the shorts. I'm doing the dances. Okay? Alright? I'm utilizing all avenues to get people used to who I am and having them want to watch me. And I need your feedback. I need to know what you think about my content, and I need to know the truth. Now, a couple of you people are going to be coming on here that I know, and you're going to be trolling me because I know you, and because you're trying to prove a point. You're going to try to come off a certain kind of way, and I'm going to automatically know who you are when you do that. And if you do that under another page that I don't know, I'm going to call you and let you know that I know that was you and to please stop. And to inform you that you don't have to go through that on social media. You can simply let me know where you want to meet me at, and I'll meet you wherever you want me to meet me, and you can say whatever you got to say to me to my face. You don't have to troll me on social media because you're a hater. You can be a man. You can meet me someplace. And you can say whatever it is you feel like you want to say to me about whatever place you think I have to say in instead of trolling me on social media. I'm not going to block you. I'm not going to call nobody to block you. Nor am I going to walk around acting like I'm scared of you. But what I am saying, if you come onto my pages trying to troll me, I'm going to call your number. And I'm going to ever so politely ask you to stop. Just saying. But this is Toy with the T, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you bunches. Make sure y'all follow me on all social media. If you need any help, make sure you drop your comments below. And I will see y'all next time. I'm about to wrap it up so I can go ahead and edit this. And if you need help and you're in the ATL area, let me know. And like I said, my last 30 days, I don't really know yet. It's going to be definitely focused on the holidays. But I still need to look at a phase for my niche. I still need to narrow down this niche. or niches. All right. So make sure y'all follow me on social media, Toya with the T. I love y'all so much. Thank you for spending the time with me because you could be spending it any place else. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I need to go ahead and get this editing done. And y'all go check out my content. Let me know how y'all like it, okay? Thank you, bunches. Make sure y'all follow me, Toya with the T. Yeah.